and welcome back to another video. Today's
first round, May monthly.
May monthly Boreal format.
Yeah. So recorded before the Tundra Wolves challenge.
Yeah.
But just 1 week. So
yeah, a week before the Tundra Wolves challenge, and then being posted after.
Yeah. So coming after, but interesting still. This is the Boreal format, same format as the Tundra Wolves, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Basically everything is
basically everything's
unrestricted and legal, and come have a fun time. So first deck, we've seen this before on the channel, the Cats and Taxes. Right?
Yeah. Interesting enough, this deck unpowered.
Yeah.
So kind of like being a bit of the underdog.
Yeah, I think I missed that the first time around.
Yeah.
You know,
but
we were talking in the bar, and he mentioned it. It was actually unpowered. Yeah. So,
but I mean, you know, it's pretty much your blue-white skies, I guess, a little bit, just with a bit of red.
Yeah. Well, the winds have changed, right? And the Blood Moon is the different cards. The Blood Moon is interesting in a 3-color deck, right? But again, like with the land tax, it should help mitigate. Because honestly, there's a lot of I think there's a lot of City of Brass and a lot of 4-strip mines, and a lot of 4 factory decks in this format. So Blood Moon could be pretty backbreaking, I think. Right?
Yeah. Interesting enough, he's not playing with any factories as well, which seems to be almost auto include.
Yeah, well, I think it's just because he needs to. He's a 3-color deck playing Blood Moon, right? So I think he really needs to not get screwed with his colors, and land tax needs to find a lot of basics. So I think he has no. You know what I mean? Like I agree.
Yeah.
Because he's even only playing 1 strip.
Yeah, that was just going to mention that being a 4-strip mine format, but I mean. Probably hoping that the Blood Moon will deal,
we'll deal with
all the dual lands or mazes.
The Serendip Djinn is always a card that I've liked, but you know, it's obviously a little bit taxing. You need to sacrifice an island. Sacrifice a land every turn. But if it's not an island, you take 3 damage.
Yeah, I believe so. Yes.
4 mana 5/6, but it's a 4 mana 5/6 flying, right?
Yeah.
So with land,
I think I'd rather play Mahamoti Djinn.
Yeah, like
you know,
it's the better card, probably.
Yeah,
probably. But that 4-cost 5/6 is very enticing, right? Like it's no joke.
And this is our tech extraordinaires. Mono green, and I mean, this is what I think you would probably expect to see in any mono green.
Yeah,
deck, you know.
I mean, I don't. Is there anything that stands out as particularly?
I mean. Thing that might be slightly different because you know there's 4-strip mine, but being a 4-strip mine format, it's not. But I mean, you know,
the aggro decks will benefit from 4-strip, right? So
yeah, it's good. I think what's probably missing. I'm not sure if there's any card in old school, but like a beefier green flying creature versus a 1/1 script sprite.
A beefier flying. Green.
Yeah. I mean, yes, okay, Giant Spider can block flying creatures, but it's still a 2/4.
2/4, not a...
Yeah, it's a 2/4, and...
okay, so it deals with the Ifrit.
Yeah, it deals with the Ifrit,
the Flying Man,
Spectre,
the hippie, yeah.
I mean, you know, gets a little bit of, like, damage, you know, Storm Seeker.
Yeah, the Aeoli pile too, true. And there's also 2 more on the sideboard, right?
Yeah. I like the fact that you put, like, you know, Crossroads, so you could just, like, slam your Djinn and just, like, attack. On the same turn,
which could be good with Berserk too, right? You can attack with haste and then
exactly. Berserk. But that could be a double-edged sword because then your opponent could also play something.
Oh yeah. Well, so that's probably why it's in the sideboard, right? Just to not get got in game 1 when it's blind, and then when you know your opponent's deck, you bring it in accordingly. Hurricane hits the opposite of Earthquake, right? Yeah,
it's flying creatures. Deal the X damage to flying creatures, I believe, also players.
Yeah. It's Earthquake, but for the opposite.
And I think in the sideboard he has it was a tsunami. Yeah. And I believe that's destroy all islands in play.
Yeah.
Probably against control decks wanting to. I mean the Tranquility, and just kind of really dealing with probably the deck or.
Yeah, Tranquility. You need that for Abyss. Honestly, mono green hates the Abyss.
Yeah,
the Abyss just fucking shreds this deck.
Yeah, so I can understand. I mean, even Whirling Dervish to deal with like
yeah.
mono black, I'm sure.
So. No, you cannot play mono green and like most decks need to consider the Abyss. Mono green, like you go like you have literally you have nightmares, and the Abyss gives nightmares for mono green. You need to deal with that card. So.
But I mean, at least mono green has like where other cards suffer from this, especially like black, is it has like artifact removal, it has enchantment removal.
Well, what's the
enchantment?
What's the enchantment? Wait, but I'm saying aside from tranquility, there's.
Yeah, but at least there's a card in the color base that has some, at least there's Crumble, okay, there's Scavenger Folk that could deal with artifacts.
For artifacts, no doubt. Yeah.
Where mono black doesn't really have enchantment or artifact removal. There's cards that kind of deal with stuff like that, but anyways. Yeah. So we see a pretty...
it's a good start for an unpowered deck.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably what you want to see.
Yeah. Same thing from JS. Turn 1 Land of War Elf is what you want to pretty much do. Unless you're going crazy with your Lois.
So I'm wondering...
A Lion and an Ifrit? Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's probably what you want to be. That's like probably his ideal situation.
Yeah. Like the chances of that happening and when you're not playing power is so low. So being able to get it off is so strong. But it feels really good. It helps you justify whether correctly or incorrectly the lack of power,
Yeah, exactly.
Because you start to feel powerful.
But I mean, touche. But I mean, when you're playing an unpowered deck and then you have the Soul Ring in opening hand, it's probably less often that you'll actually see that happen. I mean, maybe it'll happen, once every 4 or 5 games?
JS has Soul Ring too, which is a possible Earnham Djinn.
I'm wondering, you think JS should maybe have stripped?
I think he wants to. Yeah. It's possible, but I think he wants to maintain the board presence that Aymerick is putting up. But the thing is that Djinn could cause problems.
It's not like already now he can only attack with his Serendip Freet, so the line basically is just going to be there to take damage next turn, so okay. I mean, removal is always good.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you have the elf, for mana ramp, so it's a bit of a nuisance, but I don't think JS will really suffer considering a lot of his cards are like 1 or 2 green.
Yeah. I mean,
with the exception of maybe the no, it's almost like pretty much other than his Ernie there. And maybe like Giant Spider.
I think
so. I think he could pretty much almost cast any card in his deck just with what he has on the board.
Yeah, but I think now is a good time to strip. I think he wants to play an Aeoli pile. He wants to shoot. He wants to be able to play Aeoli pile and shoot the. Oh, he doesn't want to do that. I would like just kill the lion and strip the plateau so that a plow can't. Because right now the Arnhem will win the race, right?
Yeah, especially if he's taking 1 damage from the Serendip.
Yeah.
So he'll swing in for 4. Then on upkeep, he'll take another damage from the Serendip. So that clock is.
That's why.
And then worst case, JS could do an exchange with his elf for the lion.
Yeah.
So
I guess that's true. If he doesn't want to waste the damage because his elf can block. But I do like stripping that the plateau.
He's thinking about it. He's contemplating it.
Yeah. Because I think you win right now with this. Like right now, what's presented on the board is Earnham Djinn is winning me this game.
Yeah, especially if
how can I help that?
Yeah, if Ernie's winning you the game, and especially if he knows he's probably seen his deck, so he probably knows he has land tax. So you want to remove like the white source for land tax, Swords of Plowshare. So I think
there is also a possibility that there's just no attack with the Ifrit, and then a double block kills the Djinn.
Yeah, so he's giving Serendip Forest Walk, so he can't use the sprite to block.
Huh,
I think he's giving. I'd probably give the lion.
Yeah, he pointed to the lion.
Yeah.
Now, of course, the lion gets through that way, but that's okay. Yeah, blocks with the 1/1.
Oh, okay.
You know,
And now-
like, look, that's good, and maybe it doesn't matter because maybe JS will win anyways. But I think you can take that 3 damage and let the free continue to ping him, and then use the giant growth like proactively,
Yeah.
like as a lightning bolt. You know what I mean? But
Okay,
like, maybe it doesn't matter. But I think I prefer to use the giant growth as a lightning bolt for the face.
Okay. Early pile, dealing 2 damage,
Yeah.
but costing 1.
Yeah, the strip on the plateau might have helped just seal the fate.
Yeah, I think that was the right call. I mean, clearly we see now he's struggling to pretty much cast anything at this point. That's the trouble with like a 3-color deck, unpowered.
Yeah,
But it's tough. It's tough to
despite
navigate.
despite his amazing start though, right? On top of it.
Yeah. He came out really strong, but then unfortunately he just fell flat, and then JS was just able to he also had a pretty good start, so he was able to establish, his board pretty quickly as well. So now we're just seeing that if he just uses the scavenger folk on the Soul Ring, I think that's going to be pretty much game.
That's a plains though. There's a balance
Yeah, balance. Yeah, that's also true.
Answers are possible, but no. It appears not.
Aymerick was playing swords in his main board, I believe, right?
Yeah.
He had, I think, 3?
Yeah, he's
4. Okay, yeah, 4 of. Okay.
2-3 counter spells. Yeah, okay. I mean, so like, what happened there? Was it? I don't know if the mana screw. Even not being able to have access to the white, because his hand looked like it was a little bit more reactive in a way that didn't really affect the JS. So it's like,
well, I mean, like,
JS
drew really well, and I think the strip mine with the accumulation of the Serendip, he's getting pinged for 1 every turn. There's just a lot of things. Now, what's this card? I was just noticing Aymerick doesn't seem to be playing balance. I don't see balance in it, which I'm like curious why.
Well, maybe it's because he thought it didn't make sense since he's got like 12 creatures. Okay,
but I mean, your opponent starts strong.
Yeah.
Or maybe he figures he was unpowered, he's probably got more cards in his hand, he's going to have to discard.
That's true, I guess, without, like, the chance of going land, mox, balance.
Yeah. Or at least I would, like, put it in the sideboard, Like, remove one of his energy fluxes to 2 and then put the balance in the side. If he's thinking that it's not going to help him.
Was that a circle protection blue?
Circle protection blue, and then circle protection black, 2 circle protection red. Counterspell, disenchant, another blood moon.
The fabled I go first and play land tax.
Yeah.
That thing, especially versus a tech with ramp, that thing might never activate.
I think it would probably take out the land tax and probably put like earthquakes and stuff just to, deal with the scavenger folk and,
Earthquake,
elves and,
Yeah, Earthquake has to be the best card out of Aymerick's sideboard.
Yeah.
Earthquake on Merfolk and Green Dorks is definitely one of the reasons to play old school.
Yes.
Yeah. Just
okay.
Like that's the thing. Svenline is really good, but it only has the one health, right? So everything that is a creature almost kills it. So you don't have to play into the land tax. And it's very possible as a deck playing Blood Moons and counter spells and Serendip Freets, he's going to need the land more than JS will.
So I'm wondering if JS is just not playing into the land tax because he's like, well, at some point, Aymerick's going to have to play a land.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%. JS has much less of a need to play a land than Aymerick does.
Yeah. And, I mean, you just see, like, in general, like, monocolored decks, it's, you have much easier time casting cards versus other decks because there's just,
Yeah.
If you draw the line, it's the exact mana source you need. So,
but listen, I think you need to recognize that your opponent is not is not at all concerned about land tax. And if you have a land, just I mean, like if he's been holding lands for the last 2 turns, he's just time walked himself twice.
Yeah.
You have to just you have to register as quickly as possible that your opponent will not play a land before you. So like
so now you
develop
play
your game plan. Yeah.
And disenchanting our favorite blue misprint card, Sylvan Library.
Yeah.
Inside joke.
I think most people agree.
Yeah.
Or no one, but it's okay.
Okay.
Oh, so you give so unfortunately he had to play the land, which is fine because that's how Magic works, but the opening it gave JS for his own land drop ended up being more damage, which is definitely scary.
Yeah. So especially only playing 1 strip.
Yeah.
Not really having much line destruction.
Again, Blood Moon probably doesn't do anything here. Yeah, and having to take 1 damage too from the city. Geez, just a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah. CJS. Oh, looks like he's got his earning in hand. But I mean, at this point, I would probably just swing in for 5.
Is that a Berserk? Does he have a Berserk?
I think he had a Berserk in his hand. Yes, actually. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, not looking good.
But I mean, depending on what's in his hand, he may even be safe to play a land, and even if it, at this point, even if it triggers the land tax, he might be okay. Especially if he's got a Berserk in his hand.
He's contemplating. It's like, is it worth it? First JS, I'd probably wait another turn, swing for 5. Aymerick's gonna have to do something, or he's just gonna, or at least swing in with the Factory and the Pixie if he wants to conserve his elf for mana, not giving into the land tax. Yeah, see, there you go. So he's gonna block, pump for 3.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, tramples, I think.
Yeah, so trample. So now it's a Pixie's what, 2/1, I believe?
Yeah, so 5 it becomes 10.
Yeah, that's it's quite devastating.
So it's 9 damage plus 2 is 11, and that was just game. That was actually lethal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that kind of just like came out of nowhere. But we knew he had the balance, so I don't mean it came out of nowhere. We knew he had the balance, but I just mean like the math, right?
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah. Wow.
You're looking at your fingers doing the math, but by the time you look back up, the score's at 0, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he had falling star. Yeah, so congratulations to our tech extraordinaire, JS, for winning this round.
So the Berserk, I always like to see Berserk. You know, as much as we rag on green decks, Berserk is really cool.
Well, especially, Giant Growth.
Giant Growth is Lightning Bolt. So Giant Growth is a red card, Sylvan Library is a blue card.
Yeah, and as much as I'd like to, poo on green decks, I mean, they are, kind of fun to play, but,
Yeah,
it's just you have to, if you enjoy those cards, and they do perform quite well.
They do.
But it's just, it couldn't just catch up. He had bad luck both games, 1 land, being stripped. Game 1 is White Mana Source, game 2, trying to trigger his land tax, and unfortunately I think the hesitation, like you said, he time walked himself twice.
Yeah.
So
and land tax, I think even if it did work out, I think it is a bit slow in this matchup. You probably can't go that route. You need to keep up with how fast JS's board can be swarmed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you got to dig for that earthquake. You got to find board presence. You have to plow the right creatures, or just any creature that's threatening you, which can be any of them because they work together so well. But anyways, congratulations, yes.
Yep.
And on to round 2.
Yep.